James Harden has been the premier scorer in the NBA in recent years. He's led the league in points per game 3 seasons in a row. The combination of Harden's quick first step, finishing at the basket, and of course the knack for drawing fouls makes him a tough guard, but his step back 3 has been the separator. Because on-ball defenders have to get up and crowd him to take away that shot, it opens up the rest of his game even more. For comparison's sake, his teammate Russell Westbrook has also been one of the best drivers in the league. But watch how the Lakers just retreated against Westbrook all series. You can't do that against the Harden step back. And that's why we've seen past Rockets opponents resort to such extreme defensive schemes to guard Harden. You rarely see similar game plans for any other player in the league, a testament to just how unique Harden and the Rockets are. Last season, the Bucks and Jazz both forced Harden so extreme to his right, they were sometimes basically playing behind him, conceding any chance of attempting to guard him one-on-one, and instead trying to send him with his weaker hand into Brook Lopez and Rudy Gobert. The Celtics went to the pack line defense against Harden, sending him middle into the gap help from one pass away. In this video, we'll focus on the strategy behind the Lakers game plan that helped shut down the Rockets, why the Lakers struggled in game number 1, and how the Frank Vogel adjustments helped shift the series. The channel has grown by over 14% in just the month of September, so thank you all very much for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. An area where the Rockets sometimes get underrated is their ball movement. Yes, Harden dribbles the ball plenty in isolations, but as soon as he creates an advantage, the Rockets are great at then converting that advantage with quick passes to find the open man. When the ball goes inside, defenses can have a tendency to ball watch, which the Rockets take advantage of by spraying out to the perimeter for threes. So the Rockets' overall formula for success has been to optimally space players along the perimeter, let Harden create an advantage, and then zip the ball around to find the open three. The Lakers started the series playing very traditional help defense against Harden. It wasn't nearly as extreme as the Jazz, but Danny Green tried to send him to his right, and then the Lakers would help with the lowest weak side defender. Here you can even see LeBron point at Caruso to signal he's the helper. On top of Harden being so hard to stay in front of, the NBA also has rules that makes it hard to help. While LeBron's forcing right, watch how JaVale McGee is going in and out of the lane to avoid 3 seconds. That prevents him from being early on his help. But it's not like you can help from the strong side against the Rockets either. Opposing bigs playing against them have a tendency to try to protect the rim by cheating in from the corner. And that's where guys like PJ Tucker are ready to make you pay. It's great to have Anthony Davis as that weak side low defender. He's one of the best rim protectors in the league, but the Lakers struggled in game 1 when the guards were in that low slot instead. Length and athleticism is also very important for the second weak side defender. Here LeBron's the low man and AD is the zoner. He's responsible for guarding 2 players at once. On this play, Davis signals that Rondo is the low man, but Rondo smartly overrules him, trading places with AD to let him protect the rim. But Rondo's lack of size is also an issue as the zoner. Harden easily kicks it out for the 3. Here's the key concept for defending the Rockets that coaches often refer to as multiple efforts. Morris is the low man, so he helps on the drive. As soon as the pass leaves Gordon's hands, either Morris or Caruso has to sprint to get back to even as quickly as possible. You can't just give up on the play and rest after the initial help. To defend the Rockets, it's all about the recovery. There's the initial help to take away the drive, but then the closeout with urgency to get back to even. It's not easy for the defense. So we saw how in Game 1, the Rockets were putting 2 on the ball after Harden's drives. The Frank Vogel adjustment the rest of the series was to put 2 on the ball before Harden drives, aggressively double teaming the ball. The help responsibilities are really still the same, but the location is much different. These aggressive doubles have been used by other opponents in the past, but the Lakers fully committed to it, sticking to their new game plan throughout the series. The doubles weren't always as aggressive. Here Rondo leaves his man to basically play a zone and clog up the driving lane. Once the Rockets pass out of the double, all of the same principles we saw earlier still apply. Multiple efforts and closeouts to fight back to even. The good news with doubling is the ball doesn't get inside on the drive. But the bad news is there can be even more ground to cover if the double's out by half court. The most success Harden had against the double was by driving away from it. The on-ball defender's job is to send him towards the help, but several times during the series, Harden was able to break free in the opposite direction for easy baskets. Here's the Mavs doubling earlier in the bubble. Harden gives the ball up, but then gets it right back, kind of defeating the whole purpose of the double while also adding more effort for the defense. That same issue happened to the Lakers a few times, but they adjusted by varying when and how they doubled. Waiting until late shot clock situations was particularly effective. With the clock winding down, there's no time for Harden to get the ball back anyways, forcing someone else to make a play. And finally, for all the positives mentioned about the Rockets' offense earlier, they do tend to do a lot of standing around. Some of that is by design for spacing purposes, but in this series, their stagnant reactions to the double teams were a key for the Lakers. Like with Harden standing out by half court almost completely still during parts of the fourth quarter in Game 3. By doubling and denying Harden, the Lakers made other Rockets take on more expanded offensive roles. And as a result, they're headed to the Western Conference Finals.